Hey, it's Mr. H, and this is episode 6 of my DailyDesmos Graphing Challenge series. Today, I'm going to look at a challenge called Half Circle Number 1. It's another advanced challenge, and we'll see if we can solve it. All right, let's go. Hey, so in this challenge, we have another shading inequality sort of challenge here, another one involving circles. I really like the look of this one, like it could be a logo or something in the green color here. And we have 5 circles here on the left, 5 on the right that are shaded on the inside, and then we're shading on the outside of this overall circle. So I actually think that in this series, the last 2 episodes that I've done have involved products of different factors, and how when you involve that with an inequality, it shows that either all of the factors have to be positive in order to make the overall inequality positive and shade it in, or all of the factors have to be negative in order to shade that part in. It makes the overall thing, when you multiply them together, it makes it positive. So I think we're going to use the same sort of trick here. I just kind of have a feeling that this is going to be a similar approach to my last 2. So if you haven't seen those yet, go ahead and go back to my previous episodes and you can see how those all come together. So here we go. This is half circle number 1. So let's name this. All right, let's get started with a circle equation, just like we've done many times before. And this time, because I had 10 little circles on the inside there, I'm actually going to make this quite large. I'll go equals 100. That makes the radius 10. But also, like before, I'm going to put this in a format of minus 100 equals 0. And we'll zoom out just a little bit so that we can see that well. And we'll put this into some parentheses like that. Okay, let's make this green because the overall graph was going to be green. And then for starters here, we can just say is greater than or equal to 0, and we'll start out with the shading out there. Now, I think that these other factors are just going to be the equations of those little circles, because the idea would be that when those equations are positive, right? That's when we want to actually shade them in. So let's just give this a try by putting in one of those little circles. Now, if we look back at the original real quick, notice that if we have a 5 or 10 all the way out to here in the radius, then that makes the radius of each of these just 1, which means here we are at a point of 1, 0 for the center, and it has a radius of 1. So that's a pretty simple little circle to build. So let's go ahead and build that circle first, and then we'll try to come up with a way to, so we've got x minus 1, that's going to get us the correct center, squared, plus y squared. And we'll say minus 1, and that actually gives us a circle exactly where we want it. I love that. Now, the thing is, as we do this, we could just put each one of these circles in separately. Let's do one more. But I think the best way to go about this is going to be to build a pattern. So each one of these are going to have that minus 1, but notice this one I think will be x minus 3, brings it over to exactly the right place. So we're going to have, 5 be the center here, and then 7, and then 9, and so on. So really what we have here is a little sequence of values from -9 as the center up to +9 as the center. No. Let's see. Let's get rid of this one. And the idea I'm thinking of is right here, instead of saying 1, what I really want there is an expression for odd numbers. So a really common expression is 2n minus 1. Would give me the odd numbers. And then outside of here, I'm going to need my product symbol that I used last time. Now, because I want to have 10 of these total, well, let's try it out first. Let's go from -5 up to 5 and just see what happens. Oh, that is super close. That is super close. So notice that when we put in the -5 down here, it actually goes to -11. So I think what I want to do is actually take this and put it out in the front. And maybe that will resolve that kind of glitch that I was having. And we can change this to -4. So now we actually have a total of 10 little circles. And there it is. We have it. So another quick solution, but an interesting solution, because we're actually saying let's multiply this times all of the things that look like this. And the only time that I'm going to shade this in is either when they're all positive or when they're all negative. And that's going to get me the positive result that I'm looking for. So that is very, very interesting and very nice. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Down in the description of this video, I'm going to have a link to the original question for you to try, and I'm also going to have a link to this graph for you. Please remember to subscribe and have fun doing these daily challenges with me. All right, thanks. Goodbye.